Kia ora whanau. Something a bit different today, a undead Civil War battle. And this came about because I painted up this army here of ghouls and werewolves, and then added this dragon from Reaper to bring the points up to 2300, which is kind of an international standard now. And so I had that. Then I also painted up these reinforcements here for the undead. So a whole lot of zombies, a couple of death packs, more characters, wraiths, and white hordes. And so that's all Mantic, except for those, the back rank of the white hordes, which are just a GW kit. And I thought at the time it would be kind of cool to just do these really undead, meaning they're really not very intact and need magic to help them move around, versus these original ones. So that's the plan for this game, and playing it solo means it's much easier to just record the action and thoughts than if I was playing against another player. So I shall proceed with this and we'll see what happens. So to look at the composition of these two armies in brief detail, this has obviously lots of ghouls, two Ghoulghast heroes, a vampire hero who's Blood Rage and Wings of Honeymaze, so flies as well, Carnus, the werewolf hero, 3 hordes of werewolves, this one here with haste and brute strength, Helm of the Drunken Ram, and just a vampire and a dragon. Probably just isn't the right word to apply there, but anyway, that's what that is there. And here's the army list for those who want to look at that in more detail. So let's have a look over here at what's involved in this list. There's a couple of death packs, the zombies, whites, and the wraiths. So there's 3 liches, the Gallblight, 2 death packs. So the death packs, one has Crystal Pendant Retribution, so it explodes when it dies and damages the enemy. And this one just has the Scrying Gem to aid deployment speed. The liches, so we've got one with Boots of Levitation and Alchemist's Curse and Hex, one with Crown of the Wizard King and Heal and Lightning Bolt and Surge, and Morgoth, who's the main character who casts 2 spells a turn and does a lot. 4 zombies, 4 wraith troops, and 2 hordes of whites at the back there, and the whites have Sanguinary Scripture, that one, and that one has Blood of the Old King, so a single turn of Release and Vicious. So that's the 2 armies, and here's the force list, so you can have a look at that if you want to pause the video. So before I get underway, I'll just say a few points about the relative strengths and weaknesses of these armies. So first of all, this Ghoul and Werewolf one. So the Ghouls, they're reasonably fast, a lot of attacks, but not very strong, and they die quickly. And there's a lot of them, so it takes a bit of getting through. And they're helped by the Ghoulghasts being nearby. The main hammers in the army are these werewolves who can take the damage and dish it out, and they're very speedy and nimble as well. So they're one of the main threats, as is the dragon, obviously. And the 2 vampires, they've just got a lot of killing power between them, especially hunting characters. If they can get into contact with one of the enemy liches, it'll probably die in a single round. They're really deadly. So avoiding them will be key for the the ghosty army, the zombie ghost army. And for this list, so the death packs obviously are there to get in the way and interfere with enemy movement. The zombies are entirely expendable rubbish, very weak in all respects, but take a while to hack through. The Liches have a lot of magical power, including to move these units. The Wraiths, their defense 6, so unless you've got some, they're at risk mainly from the werewolves and characters, and the main killing power is these 2 white hordes, which are very deadly, and they all fly, these ghosty ones, so they can go over the enemy units or friendly units and attack. So, and keeping the Liches safe from vampires will be key, I believe. But we'll see how that plays out. Alright, so I rolled up the scenario, and it is invade, so get as many of your units into the opposing half of the table, stop the enemy from doing so. It's the ghouls and werewolves. So the Blood Rage Vampire, Carnus, and a Ghoulghast, and lots of friends. The Ghoulghast and similar here. And over here we've got 2 troops of ghouls there, actually, one behind the other, and dragon and more werewolves. And for what I should call the zombies and ghosts, got the 2 white hordes here, Morgoth and a Lich. That's the one with Alchemist's Curse. And zombies, wraiths, Ghoulblight, more wraiths. The other Lich, zombies, death pack. And there's the death pack which explodes. So that's how it's looking, and we'll see what happens. Okay, and the ghost zombies won the initiative, and they've moved up as follows. And this Lich is going to lightning bolt one of the ghoul troops. This one here, middle. So that's 3 hits, and that'll damage on 2s. So that's 3 damage to it. And Morgoth here, I think we'll cast Shattering on the same or other ghoul troop. Mind Fog, I mean. Perhaps the other one goes off, so that's got a nerve test to make, +1. And there being nothing else to do, is the nerve test for the first one. 8, 9, 10, 11 from lightning bolts. So they are wavered, I believe. And the other one, nothing. All right. So over here, many of them have swung towards the centre, but here are 2 troops, and also the vampire and Lucanus in the middle, with that ghoul troop which was wavered, which is gone now after movement, and a somewhat sacrificial ghoul troop racing up there, werewolves behind. And over here we have the dragon, werewolves trying to flank over there. The vampire dragon will do its icy breath on those zombies. On 4s, so it hits. Because they're zombies winning on 2s. Something miss. So 5 damage. And a nerve check. Not enough. Yeah, 15 needs a. That was a 13. Okay, so zombies and ghosts turn. So those zombies are frozen, which means they're -1 move, so they can't charge the dragon. and I actually just spent quite a bit of time looking at all the different options and trying to work out what was best. I don't know whether this is, but this is what's going to happen. So these are going to do a double charge with the whites in there. And these are going to go to there, and those to there. Morgoth is going to fly to there, just behind the front line of those two units. The Lich to here. And moving along, these whites are going to, well, first of all, this Wraith troop will attack there, and this will come up to block that gap, and these are going to pivot and go 7 this way to about there. And over in the centre, back out of the wild charge range of the ghouls, this Lich will flap over to there. Be here, this Wraith troop is going to fly and attack there. And looking for better targets. Go this way. Okay. Zombies will just start shuffling behind this hedge. So that's what it looks like. Magic, this Lich here is going to hit that ghoul troop at the back that it hit last time. The lightning bolts. 2 hits, 2 damage, which takes it to 5. And over here we have this Lich doing Alchemist's Curse on the dragon. Big 9 dice attack. So 4 hits, and that will need 2s to wound. So 2 wounds on the dragon, not very good. Morgoth. So drain life on the ghouls in front of him first off. And he has drain life 7. So 3 hits, 3 wounds. And then he will turn and cast Bane Chant on these whites, which goes off. So they're adding +1 strength. So nerve checks for damaged units. We've got the dragon, which is fine, and those ghouls, which will be dead. Reroll because of the dragon. They're wavered, which is a problem. They'll be stuck. And that ghoul troop at the back over there, it's dead. Reroll because of the ghoul ghast. 8, they're okay. Okay, combats. We'll start with this one. 10 attacks on 4s and wounding on 2s against the ghouls. So that is 4 damage plus 3, nothing. So they take 4 damage. And over here, same thing, it's that troop. On 4s, 4 damage on them, plus 6, that's 10, so that'll be wavered for them. And 4 damage. And over here, the big one. So we've got a regiment of zombies, we'll just do that first. So that's 12 attacks. Hitting on 5s. And wounding on 5s. So a couple from the zombies. "18 attacks from the whites, hitting on 3s. And they'll be wounding on 2s because of the bane chance. So that's a lot of damage. 12, huge. So that's on to 14, plus a double 1. So those werewolves are okay-ish. And that is the end of the Lich turn. Alright, vampire turn. So first of all, charge the dragon in. There. And I think the werewolves will just charge the zombies and see if we can at least take them out before they are finished off. Now in the center, the skull units checked is going to charge in here and take the death pack. And this unit is going to shuffle over sideways. And then this werewolf unit is going to do a nimble charge. So it's going to go through there, turn, and charge that wraith troop. Charge on the side there. These ghouls are going to move up. Along with this ghoulghast. And this one. And over on this flank, be a double charge from that ghoul troop, Lycanus, into the wraiths. And the vampire will fly over here. And the skull troop is going to stay out of charge range of those zombies, but just come up a bit. So that's how it is looking. So no magic, so just combat versus these werewolves, the zombies, damaging them on 2s. So double 1s they live, otherwise they're gone. I don't think there's anyone nearby, but yes, they're gone. Just turn like that. And now the dragon, 10 attacks into this wraith troop. 3s and 2s. Actually is it 2s, defense 6 on 3s. So 5 wounds, and is that enough? 10. I do not believe it is, but it does regenerate its life. In the centre, I've got this group of werewolves, horde of werewolves I should say. 3s, and this is doubling their attack, so here's the first slots. And they have Helm of the Drunken Ram, so +2, so winning on 4s. So from the first lot of attacks, that is 6 damage. And do it again. So anything but double 1s on them, they're gone. They'll just stay like that. And this unit here, they've got 2 of strength into this troop. And 4s to wound. Okay, so 5 damage, and so that will be dead actually, but there's the Lich there. So 6, 11, I think they're 12. Yeah, so 1 off. And over here, the ghoul, normally on 4s but 5s because they're charging through this difficult going. That's not very good. 2 hits, 2 wounds. And do they do anything? No. And here, the skull troop against the wraith troop, seeing 4s, but then needing 6s, so nothing. And then Icanus, so 5 attacks, 3, it's crushed 2 I believe, yep, so 4s, so only 1 wound on that wraith troop. And nothing. So that's the end of that turn. Okay, so Lich turn. So here, quite simply, just counter-attack, counter-charge, just shuffle over. Over here, the vampire coming in. So they're going to hit the side, they're going to turn, whoops, face the vampire. They will counter-attack and will come to there. So over on this flank, I'll just counter-charge in there. And in the middle, I'll charge the ghouls. Can't get at this dragon because it's up against the building, protecting its flank. So that's going to charge into those ghouls. Morgoth, come over here, I think. And these are going to pivot 90, then go 7 or something, like that. Okay, and actually that Lich has run down there. An alchemist curse on those werewolves. So that's only 3 hits. melting them on 2s, so only 2 wounds. And this Lich is going to surge those zombies into the vampire, and of course they make it. And here Morgoth is going to drain life ghouls, and I've 7, only 1 hit, and it wounds, so you'll remove a point damage from them, a point of damage on those ghouls. And he will also surge those wraiths, or bites I mean, surge 10. Oh, so they go a long way, which I believe is just enough to hit those ghouls. So that is 8-inch surge, so it hits those ghouls. Alright, that's the Gore Blight. Whoops. Oh well. So they don't get into combat. See down there, they hit the corner of the Gore Blight, so they didn't get into combat. Okay, these wraiths into the dragon, hang on 4s, and needing 4s to wound it. So that's 3. So do 3 to the dragon, and they get 1 back themselves for doing that. And to kill the dragon, no. Over here, the Gore Blight attacking those ghouls. So it gets d6 plus 6 attacks. Okay, just remembered Morgoth has Cloak of Death, so extra point of damage on the dragon and 1 on those ghouls, as does this Gore Blight here, so that ticks that up 1 more. I should have rolled a nerve check for them. 8, 9, 10, 11, they're fine, and up on them as well. They got a 5 damage. I think what else is within 6 inches? Probably them and him. Okay, so that unit goes up to 6, and that Gorgast also gets point of damage. D6 plus 6, so 11 attacks from the Gore Blight. That's a lot. On 4s on the Ghoul Troop. And 2s to wound. So 5 more wounds. Anything but double 1s will kill them. And again, because the Gorgast is there, they're gone. And it will turn to face werewolves. Now here we've got these zombies against the vampire just here. So, oh, a lot of hits. And you're only needing 3s because it's flying Blood Rage Vampire. So that's 6 wounds on it. Ouch. And to kill it, 6 plus 6, 12, no. So a vampire is, I think, 14, 16. Got the death pack into the side of the werewolves here. On 5s. And doubling its attacks, so that's 5 hits, then 5s. So 1 wound on the werewolves. And again, because it's a flank attack, 4. on 5s, 2 more. And then in the front with the wraiths. 10 attacks on 4s. Dreadful, 1 wound. So up to 4 wounds on the werewolves, which is bad luck for the werewolves. They're wavered or miss around. And last combats over here. So I've got the next wraith troop against the ghouls there. Setting on 4s, winning on 2s. So 5 up to 9. Dead. And the wraiths will turn and regain their life. To the Life Leech, the death pack here will attack the ghouls. Sending 5s, so that's 5 hits. And then 3s. Oh, 5 wounds on them. And what does that do, if anything? Nothing. But they do get their 2 life back. Alright, turn 3 for the vampires. So here, not much choice. They're just going to go charging in there. And the dragon will continue to attack the wraiths. Okay, what happens in the centre? So I think they will charge there. Let's roll for the wild charge of this Ghoulghast here. So it can go a total of 13. Is it enough to get to that? No. It's enough to get to that one. It's enough to get to that one. Which I think it will do because it is nimble. So it's going to turn, go there, turn, and engage that Lich. And this Ghoulghast is going to just charge into those whites rather bravely. And these 2 Ghoul regiments are going to come up and double charge there. And over here, what are we going to do? So I think we had better get on with things. So they're going to double charge there. And the vampire, being an individual, is going to turn and charge the rear. So let's start here with these ghouls attacking the wraiths. But needing 6s to damage them. So nothing. The Carnus, 3 hits, 4 hits, 4s to wound, 2 damage. And then the vampire, who has 7 attacks and can't cast her spell because she was injured last turn. Still, crush 3, so 3s to wound. So only 2 wounds, up to 4, and she regains 2 wounds. 4 hammers. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And there's no one anywhere nearby, so those wraiths are gone. So they're going to turn. And the Carnus, 1, 4, d6, 3. Okay, 15 attacks into this death pack horde here. 4s and then 2s. So that's a lot of damage to that death pack. Finally, 6, 8, 10 damage. Anything but double 1s, it's gone. But it also blows up the crystal pendant. So it does 6 attacks against the ghouls when it blows up. And that's 6 damage onto the ghouls. So they take 6 damage. And they've regained 1 down to, so they're on 10. And they cannot move forward, so they're going to turn like that. Over in the centre, so we have the Ghoulghast against the Lich. 6 attacks on 3s, and will be Crush 1 and Thunder 1. So that'll be 3 wounds on the Lich. And the Lich is okay, but won't be able to cast magic next turn. Then we have lots of ghoul attacks on this Death Pack. And that will be dead. And these ghouls, this one is going to run 4d6, 1. And this one is going to turn and gain a life back. Okay, here, 6 attacks from the Ghoulghast into the whites. So that's 4 hits, needing 3s to wound, 3 wounds. So they go up to 4, gets his life back, and not enough to kill them. Werewolves into the Gorebrights. So they've got the Drunken Ram Helm, so they'll be winning on 3s. So that is 8 wounds from the Gorebright. And the roll to kill it, 10. So that's 18, and there's no one anywhere near it. So off it goes. And the werewolves will just pivot slightly. Trouble attacks from the ghouls into these zombies. And 2s to wounds. So 4 wounds on the zombies. Does it do anything? No. And they get wound back. And 10 attacks from the dragon into the wraiths, sorry. And 3s to wound. So that is 6 wounds on them. Is that enough? So that'll kill them. That will kill them too. So they are gone. And this will turn. So, end of the turn. Show what it looks like. Right. Magic. Drain life 7 from Morgoth on the dragon. So 3 hits, 4s to wound, 1 wound. Taking it up to 3. And heal those zombies a point. Then Bane Chant on to the whites. Yep. There we go. What else? So here the other lich is going to cast Alchemist Curse 9 onto those werewolves there. So 4 hits, 2s to wound, 3 up to 6. And the other lich can't cast, so it's just a nerve test for them. Oh, so it's 17, so that will kill them, but reroll because it's a Ghoulghast there. Oh, got them. Gone. Into the dragon on 3s. It's cocked, no. And crush 2 plus Bane Chant 1, so 2s to wound. So that is 6, 7, 8, 9 wounds. So the dragon goes to 12. 12 wounds on the dragon. Do they take it out? 4, so 16. And the dragon is 17, 19, so not enough. And then 12 zombie attacks on the ghouls. 5s, 3 hits, and 3s to wound. So 1 wound on the ghouls. Get 1 back. And is it enough? No. Not even enough to over them. Alright, here there is a Ghoulghast bravely trying to fight off the wights. So 18 attacks. 3s. And 2s. So 10 wounds on the poor Ghoulghast, and he's dead and he's gone. And the wights regain a hit point down to 3 and will pivot like so. Down here, the wraiths, werewolves, 10 attacks. On 4s and 4s. So 3 more wounds on the werewolves. Up to 7. And is that enough? That is enough. But there's a Ghoulghast just there inspiring them. So 7, 14. 1 off wavering them. And they get a life back themselves. Okay, and that is all the combats for Liches. Turn 4 for the vampires. So just counter attacking there. Over here. So those ghouls are going to charge into the wights desperately. And those werewolves are going to attack the wraiths as is the Ghoulghast. And both those units of ghouls are going to attack. And over here, I think those ghouls and the vampire are going to attack there. Maybe run over here ready to do something. Okay, so that's the movement. Let's go to combat here. So we've got the ghouls, 12 attacks against these zombies, hitting on 4s and wounding on 2s. So So that's 5 more wounds on them. They're up to 7. 714, not enough. They gain the life point back. And 10 attacks from the dragon into these whites. So that many hits, and 2s to wound. So that is 7 wounds on the whites, plus not enough. And the dragon gets 2 life back. Okay, here's the ghouls against the whites. 4s. And winning on 5s. Nothing. Over here. So, against these whites, got the full pack of werewolves now. So, a lot of hits. And they'll be winning on 4s. So, that's a lot of wounds. 1s on the wraiths. Nope. No, so they're gone. And they gain back a life point. Okay, and the werewolves will turn like so. And the Ghoulghast will run this way, D3, so 3 inches. Alright, so that's 24 attacks. No, 30 attacks from these ghouls into the zombies. So the first slots are not hindered. Fours and 2s. So that's 7 wounds. And the other lot were running through the rough going, so they hit on 5s. So 3, 4, and winning on 2s. So another 3 for the zombies. So up to 10. 5 twice will kill them. Dead. No, still there. And lastly, over here, 12 attacks from the ghouls, then 4s, and then 2s. So that is 6 damage onto the zombies. And I'll just do, I didn't actually cast this a Shadow Beast spell for the vampire. I'll do that now. So yes, it goes off, which means she gets an extra 3 attacks. On 3s, 1. It's 1 wound. And then her normal attacks, which is 7. 3s and 2s. Another 4. It's up to 11. And she gains back 2 wounds, 3 wounds actually. And nerve check. Oh, double 1, the zombies are fine. 2 and 5 for the Liches. So counter charge here against the ghouls. And here, counter charge against the injured ghoul unit. And there's a lich down here, which is just going to tuck itself in there so it can't be charged by the Ghoulghast. It can still cast at the large height 3 werewolves. This other lich is going to do a cunning move to get to a spot where it can be charged by that vampire, that Gorgas hopefully, which is about there. And I'll just check that. So that's blocked by the woods. That's blocked by the unit. So safe. And here they will charge the ghouls, charge. And Morgoth, what's Morgoth going to do? Stay there and try and help out those zombies, I think. So let's start with that. So drain life 7 against those ghouls. So that is 5 hits, 5 wounds. Taking those zombies to 7 and taking 5 wounds off them. So they go down to 2. And next will be a Bane chant on them. Yes. Next lich. This one here is going to do a firebolt over the top of the zombies, those werewolves. So it's -1 to hit though, because the zombies are blocking the way a bit. So 5s, 2 hits, no wounds. And then this one, the Alchemist's Curse, 9 dice and 5 hits, 2s to wound. So that's 5 more wounds on the werewolves to 11. That's dead. Gone. Okay, so combats. Here, 12 attacks and 5s against these ghouls. And then 3s. So 3 wounds plus 8, 11. They're wavered. A life went back. And here, 12 attacks against that damaged ghoul unit. So 5 hits and 3s to wound. So that's 4 more. Anything but double 1s will take them out. 6. And again, they're gone. And those zombies, I think, shuffle sideways D3, 3. And they will get a hit point back. They're gone. Actually, just pivot like that and they'll get their life point back. The zombies against the now weakened ghouls, 12 attacks on 5s. So that is 5 more wounds on them, not the double 1s. And again, because of the dragon, they're gone. And those zombies will run forwards 4. Meeting Morgoth. 18 attacks here into the poor old dragon. Oh, a lot of 1s though. And 2s to wound. Okay, so 6 wounds, which is still a lot. So double 1s for the dragon. Nope. gone. Just run full d6. 1. Okay. So it's looking pretty healthy for the Liches now, I think. Okay, let's see what we can do with what's left, which isn't much. Let's see if these 2 heroes can actually do this. So the Gulgast and the Liches are going to try and take out a white horde, which the odds are not great. The vampire is going to finish off the zombies, hopefully, and those ghouls will just attack the zombies. So, vampire plays Shadow Beast on herself. Yep. So 3 attacks, 3s, and 1 wound. Another 7. Okay, another 2, so 3 more. So not double 1s on the zombies. No, you're gone. Okay, and she gets her life point back. And she'll go sideways, D3, 1 inch. Okay, here, 15 attacks into those zombies. 4s. And 2s. Another 5, anything but double 1s. No, they're gone. And those ghouls will run 4d6. 3. And here we've got 5 attacks from Liches. 3 hits. 2 wounds on the whites. So they go up to 4. And can the Gulgast do it? 6 attacks. 3 hits. 2 more. 2 more? 3 more. So up to 7. Well, certainly not enough, but we'll see. Good roll will do it. And that will not be it. 5 up to 12. Okay. Alright, so movement for the Liches. Morgoth is going to fly over here. Those zombies are going to turn and go 5. And these whites, given where it's at, they need to get over the halfway line. Turn and just go 7. Make sure they're in the enemy half of the table. And that's 2 Liches are going to try and melt these ghouls. So Alchemist's Curse isn't going to work as well against them. So 4 dice plus the armor rating, 7 dice against the ghouls. So that's 2 wounds. And a lightning bolt from this one. 4s, 2 hits, 2 wounds. So up to 4. And does it take them out? Oh, yes. Boom. And over here, drain life onto the Liches from Morgoth. 4s and 4s, so 2 wounds. Bane chant onto the whites. Yep, the whites. See, they'll attack the ghoul first because they'll overrun if they kill it. So 18 attacks into Gulgast. twos to wound. So double ones, no, no. So it dies, they follow up into the Liches. It's overrunning an individual. And again, same thing, threes, twos. What's the Bane chance? So that is 6, 7 on him, so he's up to 9. Eight, that will kill him, and 7, so he is gone. So last turn for the vampires, or vampire now, and there are only Ghoulghast, the vampire, and that Ghoul troop left. So this Ghoulghast is at least going to get some revenge and attack that lone Lich. Vampire is going to fly over here just in case it goes another round. Have a go at these whites on the off chance it might work. So 6 attacks into this Lich. So 4 wounds, so the Lich is on 7 plus 6. What is the Lich? 1 off killing it. Okay, does it go another round? No. So that's the end of the game. And so the vampires have got 1 point for a Ghoul troop, but everything else is dead apart from 2 characters. And the Liches have these 2 white hordes and a zombie regiment in the enemy half of the table. So that's that. So thoughts on the end of the game there. Those Liches and Morgoth, and the combination was very effective. So these are not armies I'm particularly familiar with, so it's interesting to put them on the table and see how the rules work with both of them. That Werewolf and Ghoul army is a bit one-dimensional. The whites, I can't help but think that Wine of Elven kind on them, to give them nimble would be very nice. All right, thank you.